Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and in today's video we are going to talk about a very important topic. We are going to talk about the evolution of a professional. So this is something that I have given a lot of thought about, and I have understood what is the right way for a professional to evolve and how a professional can eventually reach high stages. So, from what I have seen in the world, I have seen that a lot of professionals stop evolving at a particular stage and they don't grow beyond that. And there are people who try to go to stage 5 or stage 6 directly, and because they try to go to that stage directly, then there are certain things which starts breaking down. So, when you look at the concept of evolution, so let's look at the concept of evolution of the humankind itself. So, first we were like a single cell organism, then we started evolving into reptiles, and then we started becoming mammals, and then we started becoming chimpanzees, and then we started having different species of humans itself. So we had Neanderthals, we had Homo sapiens, and then eventually we have Homo sapiens, the upright, intelligent, walking human that we are today. So it goes through different stages of evolution, right? And there is going to be a certain rule to it. There is going to be a certain law to it, and we have to adhere to that law. If we don't adhere to that law, then it will not be stable. It will not be sustainable, right? So even when you look at the evolution of plants, they start from a seed, and then it grows the roots first, and then they start sprouting, and then slowly it grows, then it becomes a tree, and then finally it starts bearing fruits. And then when the tree becomes very old, then eventually it starts going back into the ground, and some trees live for like hundreds of years as well. So I believe that when a professional evolves according to this particular roadmap, then the evolution is going to be very stable. It's going to be very rewarding. So that's what we are going to look at today, and this is also something that I have faced myself. I have experienced it myself, and this is basically my journey. So my particular journey has been in the digital marketing field. So let's say I started learning about digital marketing around 2012, and before 2012, I was doing a few projects as well. But I invested a lot of time in learning digital marketing, and that is how a professional starts, right? First, the basics we learn. We end up learning language. We end up learning the basics, mathematics, arithmetic. Let's say bit of physics, chemistry, everything in the school we learn. But let's actually start from professional education, right? We are not talking about school education. We are talking about professional education. So when you look at professional education, let's say somebody does engineering. So what happens is that in most of the cases out there in the world, people learn and then people work. That's it. They don't do anything else. They probably do some learning in engineering or medical or bunch of other things, and then they work, and these professionals stop evolving. So when you look at 90% of the population out there in the world, they are just learning and then they work, and in fact their learning stops once they stop going to college, and they never learn after that. They just watch the news, they watch TV, they watch entertainment channels, and that's about it. But here we are thinking broader. We are thinking that how we can evolve, and the eventual evolution is going to be very important for you to go ahead and create a lot of wealth. So let's say I'm a civil engineer. So I'm actually a civil engineer. I did civil engineering. 4 years of learning civil engineering in the college was not much of use. Yes, I enjoyed a certain subjects like engineering mechanics, fluid mechanics, and certain mathematical principles as well. But then if I had got a job in civil engineering, I would have started working as a civil engineer. and then I would have not done anything else. But fortunately, I did not get a job in civil engineering. Then I stumbled upon into blogging. I tried to make money with AdSense, which eventually made me learn digital marketing. So in my case, I went ahead and learned digital marketing. So this was me. So I learned digital marketing, and you can learn digital marketing, you can learn data science, you can learn artificial intelligence, machine learning, or whatever you want. That is up to you, but I will just put down my journey here. So I learned digital marketing. So how did I learn digital marketing? Through doing digital marketing for certain pet projects that I had. So I had a bike advice blog. It was a blog about motorcycles, so I started blogging there, and I started driving traffic there. You can learn from online courses. You can do internship. So that is one way to learn. And when I learned digital marketing, I learned all the different subjects in digital marketing. So what are the different subjects in digital marketing? When I learned by doing, I learned how to do SEO. I learned how to set up websites. I learned how to do social media marketing. I learned how to do email marketing, and I learned how to do copywriting. So these are the different things that I learned while I started learning digital marketing, right? So there are a lot more subjects in digital marketing. I will not go in depth into it right now. So email, SEO, social media, content, and copywriting, and let's say paid advertising as well. So these are the different subjects that I learned. And there is something called the T-shaped digital marketer, which means that you are expert in one thing and then you are a generalist in everything else. So that's was my journey. Almost from 2008 to 2012, I was just learning digital marketing, and I was learning it by doing. Obviously, I was making some revenue from the blog as display advertising, but I wouldn't really consider it because it was more like a hobby income. So I went ahead and learned digital marketing, right? So once you have some skills, then you have to go and start working. So 2012, so 2008 to 2012 was my learning journey. So 2008 to 2012, right? So this was my learning journey. And then I started working as a digital marketer. So I started working as a digital marketing manager. So digital marketing manager was my position, and here I started working in 2012, and I worked all the way up to 2016. I was in full-time jobs. And where did I work as a digital marketing manager? I first got a job in this company called Therum India Private Limited, which is a digital marketing agency. And then I got a job as a digital marketing manager at Exotel. And then I joined Practo as a digital marketing manager. Then I joined InstaMojo as a digital marketing manager. Then I joined Razorpay as a digital marketing manager. And then I joined MoEngage as a digital marketing manager. So almost every year I was working in one company each. And here I gained a lot of experience with digital marketing. I ran paid ads at a large scale. I helped these corporates scale up with digital marketing. I built a funnel for them. But at the same time, I started blogging about digital marketing, which was digitaldeepak.com. And digitaldeepak.com, I started blogging since 2013. So this was since 2013. And every month I used to post around two blog posts. Around 2 to 3 blog posts a month is all that I posted. So let's say 2 to 3 blog posts a month, and this is what I had to do maximum. I did not have to do anything else. I kept publishing 2 to 3 blog posts a month, and until 2016, I kept blogging. So until 2016, I don't recommend that everybody follow such a long journey, but this was my journey. So until 2016, I was just blogging. But as I was blogging, as I was also working, I started consulting. So I did hourly calls from digitaldeepak.com. So since I started blogging, what happened was that I started getting some traffic to the blog. By 2016, By 2016 I had 25,000 subscribers for my blog by 2016. And I started consulting. So I started consulting. I did hourly calls, and basically the hourly calls was to consult businesses. So the first sale was rupees 500 for 30 minutes. So in fact it was not a hourly call, let's say you know consulting calls. So consulting calls. So I started with 30 minutes, 500 rupees, and then I increased it to 1000 rupees for 1 hour. So right now I charge 10,000 rupees for a single hour when it comes to consulting, and this helped me gain confidence that people are ready to pay me for advice. So this is the first time I am selling my information or my knowledge to people. And I think this was very important to reinforce the confidence that I had something to give away, and people will find value in it and people will actually pay for it. So when I say blogging, I am also including, now all types of content creation. So when you look at all types of content creation, this would include blogging. This would include guest posting. This would include book publishing. This would include YouTube channel, and it would include posting in all social media channels. So when I say blogging, it is not just limited to writing. So when you look at all these different kind of publishing that I do, I don't charge for it, right? It's all free content, and it's okay to give free content away initially so that you start getting some traffic to your blog. And obviously there is going to be a lot of techniques here. So when you look at the techniques of blogging, these are the different channels, all types of content creation. So let's call it channels. But when you look at the techniques, the actual techniques that I am following, that would be WordPress is one technique. Email marketing is one technique. So you collect a subscriber list. Then social media is a technique. So let's say social media marketing. Paid ads is a technique to drive traffic to your blog using paid ads. If you want, you can boost it a little bit. And then you have SEO, the art of SEO, to get traffic from the search engine. So all these techniques kind of come under digital marketing itself. And basically when you look at this evolution can be followed by anyone. So let's say there is a guy who is a data science expert. So he can first learn about data science, then he can work as a data science or the data scientist in different companies. He can start a blog about data science, and then because he has started working, and because he has learned a lot, and because he writes a lot, which gives him a lot of clarity, consulting is a very good first step after you start having some traffic and traction to your blog. Because one-on-one consulting does not necessarily require you to create a product. So there are different ways to monetize your blog. So a lot of people use display ads, but I don't recommend display ads for blogging, because with display ads you are basically promoting someone else's product, and the amount of revenue that you will make with display ads is completely based on the amount of traffic that you get to your blog. So when I say blogging, I am not talking about media. I am not talking about blogging in the angle of the way that newspapers do. Newspapers, media publications, all these journalistic type of content, which is basically media, which also includes entertainment, gossip, jokes, and everything. They don't have a product to sell. They are not creating transformation for people. They are just giving entertainment as a service, and the only way they can monetize the amount of content that they generate is through display ads. And because they are generating the money through display ads, the more page views they create, the more revenue they will make. And that is why you start seeing a very clickbaity type of articles all over the web, where they are probably showing you real estate or shocking things, or top 10 celebrities houses or something like that. That is all like very low quality type of content, and I am not talking about blogging in that angle. So when you are blogging about a specific subject, like for example, when I am blogging about digital marketing, or you are blogging about design, or you are blogging about UI UX and things like that, Then basically the idea is that as you start blogging about it, you are going to get a lot more clarity because you are writing about it. One of the best ways to get clarity about your the entire topic that you are studying, or you are practicing, is to write about it. So when I say work, I am also including freelancing in this, because I was also freelancing from time to time between my jobs, where you are basically doing things for others, right? So you are not advising people what to do. You are doing things for people. You are delivering a service. So that's what work means. And actually doing that service, you will not have anything to blog about, because if you learn something and then you write about it directly, which you can still do, but there will not be any uniqueness to it, right? If you just learn something and if you just write about something, if it is theoretical stuff, you can write about it just as a practice for writing. Nothing wrong in it. I have done it. I have learned from courses and started writing directly. But if people want to actually go ahead and find value in the content that you create, you have to learn, you have to work, and once you work, you'll start getting some results, and then you can blog about it. So now you have started blogging, you have started getting some traffic. Let's say your goal is that you first get at least 1,000 subscribers to your blog. So your goal should be that you get 1,000 subscribers to your blog. So this is something that you can set as a goal, and I will put it here because Digital Deepak is my journey. As general blogging stuff, I will just put them here. So once you have at least 1,000 subscribers to your blog, then you can also go ahead and create a community, right? So create a community. So the community that I built was the Learn Digital Marketing group on Facebook, and today this community has more than 1,75,000 people. So at that time when I just started blogging, I just had 1,000 people in this community. So when you have subscribers to your blog, and when you have people who are interested in a specific topic to read from you, then you can also create a community out of it. So creating a community helps you understand what the market wants. So understand what the market wants. What the market wants could be in the form of products, it could be in the form of services, it could be in the form of information or knowledge, right? So that is what I have observed in my own digital marketing field. People want products like tools, digital marketing tools and stuff. People want to learn digital marketing. People want done for you services. So when I'm doing freelancing, I am basically doing done for you services, right? Let's say done for you services. So let's say someone wants to set up their Facebook ads funnel, I do it for them. Someone wants to optimize their website for search engines, I do it for them. So then basically after all this experience, let's say I start blogging, and once you have 1,000 subscribers to your blog, then you are creating a community, and you are basically understanding what the market wants, because you have a direct contact with the subscribers. So you can ask them what they want. That is one of the easiest way to start blogging. You can ask people what they want, and then you can go ahead and give it to them. So once you have a blog, once you have some traffic, what is the way to monetize the blog? The easiest and the fastest way to monetize your blog, which can eventually evolve into bigger things, is to give consultation calls. So what you can do is that you can just put up a link on your blog saying that, hey, hire me, and you can put up a charge that 30 minutes is going to be 30 minutes is going to be 500 rupees, or something small like that. When you do consulting, you can sell. You are still selling your time, but for advice. You are not selling your time for actually doing something for them. You are selling your time for advice, and you can start with free consulting. You can have Zoom calls with people, you can help people. Let's say you are a data science expert, or let's say you are a design expert. Now that you are positioning yourself as an expert because you have started to write about it, right? So once you start writing about something, there is some level of expertise in you. You are not the number one expert in the world, but there is definitely some level of expertise that you are having. So you start blogging, and then you are basically selling your time for advice, because now you are an expert. And start collecting reviews. So start collecting reviews. And again, I'm telling you, this is not just as a money making method. Eventually you can make enough money as a consultant alone, but being a consultant is a bridge between your learn work blog to actually becoming a mentor, startup founder, and becoming a teacher, right? So basically, what we are doing here is that you are going ahead and understanding the market better, and you are talking to people, you are talking to the target market, who want to learn more about what you have to offer. So you start with free consulting, start with collecting reviews, and then charge a small amount to give advice, and start creating a brand around it. Start creating a brand around it. So that way, let's say you have done 50 calls, 50 one-on-one calls. You will have a very good understanding about what people need, and you will find out that there are certain things that that people value. And this can be something like you do one call every day, or you do two calls every week, whatever frequency suits for you. And for this, believe me or not, people will be ready to pay for it. People will be ready to go ahead and blindly pay for it, because people are getting a one-on-one time, asking people for advice. So the next stage is that you start becoming a mentor. So mentor basically means group calls. So instead of doing one-on-one consulting calls, you are doing group live calls, and you are answering questions to people. So group live calls can be around 10 to 25 people. I would not recommend more than 25 right now. Or it can be even less than that. You can at least have 5 people, and you can have a maximum of 25 people. And you can enroll them into a mentorship program. And once you enroll people into a mentorship program, let's say you are going to give something like, let's say X number of live calls for Y rupees, or Y dollars, whatever it is. So Y rupees or Y dollars. And this way people are basically paying for your live coaching. And here you can answer question and answers for them. In fact, you can take this up to 100 people, because if you enroll 100 people into a program, then only 25 people will show up on live calls every time. Then you can give them recorded videos. So here basically what you are doing is that instead of teaching people one-on-one, you are teaching people in a group. So here you are becoming the mentor, and they follow you. And this could be this is not just students, right? This could be business owners as well. And here if you are into design, a lot of people want to learn about design. A lot of people want to become designers, because you learned about design, you started working as a designer, you started blogging about design, you started consulting about design. And then a lot of other people will want to become a designer themselves. So when they want to become a designer themselves, that is something that you can mentor them, and you can coach them. And you can also coach people who want design consultancy. So this is like basically mentorship is like group consulting, right? So this is, I can say, group consulting. And there will be different target markets. Like for example, I have different target markets for my mentorship program. So my target market consists of students, professionals, and entrepreneurs, or let's say startup founders. So this is probably going to be your target market as well, right? You might want to have students into your program who might want to learn. You might want to teach or mentor professionals who want to become better professionals. And you might want to teach mentors who want to learn from you and execute it themselves, or probably go ahead and have an understanding of the entire thing. So this is mentorship is going to be the next stage. And what is the next stage? The next stage is startup. So I started mentoring people. I started, in partnership with another digital marketing company. I started doing live calls and I started teaching people, and all that I started learning. I started putting into my consulting. I started putting into my blogging as well, and I slowly started increasing the price of my consulting. So that's what you can do. So when my mentorship program is, let's say, working out to something like 500 rupees per hour for the students, then I can increase the price of my consulting to probably 3000 rupees per hour instead of doing 1000 rupees per hour, because now that my value of my advice has started increasing, I can no longer charge very cheap for one-on-one consulting. If somebody needs my one-on-one time, one-on-one attention, they need to pay more. So this is how my journey evolved, and then eventually I started up. So I started up my own digital marketing agency. So my first agency was Pixel Track. So my digital marketing agency was called Pixel Track, and in this digital marketing agency, I had clients, and I basically had leveraged services. So leverage services is basically having employees, having a team, and instead of being a freelancer where I am the only guy providing services, I had a team of people providing services. I had a salesperson, I had an account manager, I had a Facebook ads expert, I had a designer, I had an analytics expert. So all these people are providing services for my clients, and the way I start getting clients for my digital marketing agency is because I have evolved, right? Instead of just stopping at work, I started blogging. So I started building a personal brand for myself. I started consulting. So a lot of business owners know that, hey, Deepak knows his stuff, so I can give my digital marketing requirements to Deepak's agency now that Deepak has an agency. And then I also started mentoring people, and out of the mentorship program, we also had entrepreneurs in the mentorship group. And these entrepreneurs in the mentorship group could not actually hire me because I have now started consulting and now started mentoring, and the time value of my time has increased, right? So that way I cannot execute the projects myself. So these entrepreneurs who wanted to get things done, they kind of learned what to get done through the mentorship program, but now they wanted to outsource it. So they went ahead and gave the projects to my digital marketing agency. So all of these things, I will also show you examples from my own journey on how I actually went ahead and did it. And I will show you my blog, I will show you my consulting, I will show you how I do mentoring using my internship program, and how I educate people. So it's learn, work, blog, consult, mentor, startup, and we can call this educate instead of teach, because teach still looks like it's either mentoring or it looks like one-on-one. So educate is basically more like you are creating courses and letting people watch it, which we will get to in a moment. So when we are looking at startup, so it could be services. So my services was a digital marketing agency company. So it could be services, or it could be products. So I also started understanding the market better. So I understood that a lot of people have issues collecting email IDs on their website. So I launched this product called Opt-in Chat. So optinchat.com is a SaaS product, and since I already had the blog, since I already had a lot of students, since I already had a lot of clients, I was able to sell my products to them. So again, within the startup, I think the ideal way to evolve is to start giving services and then eventually get into products. So here you can also do consulting. You can also do consulting with a team. So consulting via team, where you have leverage. So startup is all about leverage. You are going from an individual to a company because you have more people, and when you have more people, you can start leveraging things. So that is where you are moving from a mentor to a startup, right? So now now that I have had this experience, so this particular experience, let's say Pixel Track was being run from 2017 to 2020, and I was running this company for 3 years. And I was running this with Sanjay Shenoy, my co-founder, and we have a lot of Fortune 500 clients like HDFC Bank. We were doing the entire service for Your Story, helping them set up Your Story Academy. Now it's called Your Story Education. So all this is going to give me even more experience, and with all these experiences, I went ahead and started blogging about it, which increased the price of my consulting, which increased the price of my mentorship, and this funnel kind of starts reinforcing itself. And obviously I've stopped working, but learning never stops. You keep learning. So this funnel keeps reinforcing itself, and as more people read your blog and more people consult with you, you will end up getting more people who might want to become your clients, right? So now that all this has happened, now the value of my time has increased a lot, and I still have my startup, but for me, the amount of mentoring that I do and the amount of consulting that I do has come down to a minimum, and I have exorbitantly increased the prices. Right now, my pricing is 9,997 rupees per hour for Indian clients, and for international clients, I'm charging $150 per hour. And people are paying for it, and I will show you that people are paying for it as well. So now, people who consult with me are also going to be very potential, clients for my startup service, right? For my startup agency, they will be potential for my products as well. So now that the time value for me has increased, and if I want to still go ahead and share whatever I have, then I'm limited by the amount of time I have. So I can keep increasing the price of my consulting, but I would still be making money for every hour, and it will not scale, right? So however, if I want to go ahead and educate people, so education is basically selling online courses. So by selling online courses, I am able to scale my education or scale my advice. So scaling the advice is the most important, because with mentorship also I have a limited number of students, and I'm doing group live calls. I'm doing like Q&A sessions. So Q&A sessions with people and all those things. So whenever I go ahead and launch a new program, I go ahead and follow this same path. I learn about it, I do some services around it. I blog about it, then I consult people about it, then I mentor people about it. Probably put it on my startup as a service. So this is not always necessary, but it is recommended, because you go ahead and learn how to actually implement what you are teaching, right? Because you have to practice what you preach, and you cannot preach what you don't practice. A lot of people, the biggest mistake that they do is that they learn something and then they create an online course. They go from step 1 to step 7 directly, and then they wonder, hey, why is my online course not selling? Some people learn, they work, and then they directly jump into education. They go ahead and start selling their online courses, and their online courses do not get good reviews, they don't sell well, and they start making the courses very cheap. So if you are actually providing good value, and if you have a very clear understanding of what the market wants, which is something that you will only get when you do consulting, when you do mentorship, and when you provide services for your clients. Like for example, when we started working with Your Story, we understood that the only way that Your Story can sell their information products is to build the personal brand of the CEO. And when you build the personal brand of the CEO, then the CEO can go ahead and sell the course, which was a startup course at that time. So this is going to be very important to go through the entire funnel to actually create a course that is going to work in the market. So by the time you reach here, you understand, you have a clear understanding of market needs, and you are not just selling a course because other people are selling that course and making money. If you go ahead and sell a Facebook ads course because I am selling the Facebook ads course and I am making money, it might not sell, because you might not know what to put inside the course, unless you are replicating my course exactly, which is going to be copyright infringement anyway. You will learn what people need inside Facebook ads if you consult on Facebook ads, mentor on Facebook ads, if you do a Facebook ads service. All right. So within digital marketing, let's say we have one specific area, which is SEO. So you have to go ahead and learn SEO. you have to do SEO, be like an SEO manager for a company or be a freelancer SEO professional. You have to start blogging about SEO. You have to do one-on-one consultation on SEO, and then you have to probably teach people in a group about SEO. Provide SEO as a service as your startup, or you can even create a product which is going to be something like an SEO tool or something. And only then after that, if you go ahead and educate people on SEO by creating courses, right? Once you create courses, the courses will have like a very high value, because you are not just creating an SEO course because you learned SEO from somewhere. Apart from teaching the fundamentals and basics, you will also be able to go ahead and actually show the results that you have got for your consulting clients. You will be able to show the results that you have got for your students, which also becomes like the proof, or it becomes like the social proof for selling your courses, because people have already got results from your courses. And then you can also start showcasing the case studies of the agency. So that's what I do when I am teaching digital marketing. I have case studies of the digital marketing client work that I have done for my clients, and I show that in my digital marketing courses. And that's what adds value to my courses, because I am following this process of learn, do, and teach. I am not just learning and teaching directly, right? So since we call it learn, do, and teach, in fact we can call it teaching itself. In this case, teaching is not one-on-one, it is not one to group, but it is basically selling online courses. You are digitally teaching. It's like a digital coach. And what you are watching right now, so this video might be a part of one of my courses, or you might be watching this for free on YouTube if I have decided to put this on YouTube. But this is not YouTube material. This is definitely course material, the what you are watching right now. But you can understand that this has a lot of value, and this is something that is scalable. I am not doing any Q&A sessions with you. I am not doing a live call. This is a recorded session that I am delivering it to you. And if you have been watching this video until this point in time, it means that you have seen a lot of value in this video, and this is something that makes sense, right? And this is something that makes sense because I have gone through this journey, and I understand this journey very well. I understand the market needs very well. So anyone who wants to evolve as a professional, I understand it because I have gone through it myself, and I am telling you how to do it. So here, this is where you get to the teach stage, and you are basically scaling the advice, and you are selling online courses which is completely automated. So this is automated, and the sequence of the communication is also automated, the teaching is automated, and basically we are what we are doing is that we are going for teaching automation. So here, with online courses, I am designing the journey of the student, and I am making the student complete assignments. So in most of my online courses, I have assignments that people have to complete, and I know that what are the questions that people ask. So I have frequently asked questions, and I automate the frequently asked questions as well. So FAQs are also automated, and then accountability is there. So you can have accountability system, and then there is an internal community of students who can learn from each other. So obviously in the mentorship program also there is a community. So this is basically automating everything, and once you start doing this, then you can start increasing the price of your consulting. Then you can start increasing the price of your mentorship program. You start increasing the price of your startup services, because now you are making so much money in a very scalable way. So now if a client comes to me and tells me that, hey, I'm going to pay you 1 lakh per month, will you be able to provide services? I'm not able to do it, because I'm making more than 10 lakhs per month, more than 50 lakhs per month from my teaching business alone, which means that the cost of my startup services has increased. So here sometimes people will skip the startup stage. People will read your blog, and then they will eventually come to your courses as well. They would want you to be their teacher, like an online digital teacher. But then they might come back and consult with you. They might want to mentor with you. They might want to give you services. So this is more of your journey, not necessarily the customer's journey. The customer might come to your blog and start buying your courses directly, because you have gone through this journey of the entire evolution, right? So here it is very important to remember that if you learn and then you teach directly, that's when you become a fake guru, right? You are just trying to make money by selling online courses, because online courses are lucrative. A lot of people are blindly getting into this without following this proper evolution, and the people who actually make a lot of money selling online courses are the people who went through this entire journey themselves, like I have done. So now that I have shown you the evolution of a professional, let me go ahead and show you how my evolution looked like. All right. So the first step in my journey is learning digital marketing, which I learned by doing. I was actually running a motorcycle blog, but the motorcycle blog, I wouldn't call it as part of this particular evolution of my being a digital marketing professional, because it was not a digital marketing blog. It was a motorcycle blog. It was a hobby blog. I did not make too much money from it, but I learned digital marketing by doing, and that was my project. So once I learned digital marketing, I went ahead and started working as a digital marketer. So here you can see that this is my professional journey. So this was me being a business owner founder, where I did Bike Advice project, but again that was like a learning path. So 2008 to 2012. So here you can see associate manager solutions consulting at Theorem. I worked for a year. Then I worked for 7 months in Exotel as a digital marketing manager. Then I worked in Practo as a digital marketing manager. Then I worked at InstaMojo as a marketing manager. Then I did the mentorship program, like group coaching, because at that time on the side I had started my blog Digital Deepak, and I also started consulting. I worked with JustDoc as a digital marketing consultant. Then I was the digital marketing manager for Razorpay. So this was my longest stint. And in most of the companies, you might see that my journey has not been much. I just learned quickly, and then I just changed. And then I was a digital marketing blogger. I am a digital marketing blogger until now, and I will be for a very long time. So that's digitaldeepak.com. And then I became an agency owner, which is Pixel Track Digital. So this has been from March 2018 to present, which is 2 years, 3 months. So this is how my journey has been. I started out as an employee where I worked. Then I started my blog, which is digitaldeepak.com. So this blog is now almost 7 years old. I have been blogging on this blog for almost 7 years now, since 2013. And this is the most important thing to remember. Just because I am a teacher now, just because I have scaled my online education business, I have an agency, does not mean that I will stop blogging. So here you can see, even this month I have published 3 blog posts. Last month I have published 3 blog posts. And when you go all the way back up to 2013, you can see that I have published 3 blog posts, 2 blog posts, 3 blog posts, 2 blog posts, 3 blog posts. Every month I have been consistently publishing some blog posts, so that I can keep the traffic going on. So you have seen me learn digital marketing using my project. You have seen me work at digital marketing with various companies. This is my blog, which is Digital Deepak. I would also like to quickly tell you how much traffic that I get to my blog. So let's go ahead and check Google Analytics. So since I have been blogging for a very long time, I have started getting quite some traffic to my blog. So you can see that at any point in time, we have live visitors on the site. We have 30 visitors on my blog right now. If you go ahead and look at audience, which will show you the daily traffic trend, the amount of traffic that I get right now is not less. It has started becoming significant. And when I started this whole blogging journey, I was probably getting something like 50 visitors a day, 100 visitors a day. But now I am getting 2,900 visitors a day, 3,200 visitors a day, 2,700, 2,600. And if you go ahead and look at acquisition, you will be able to see how much traffic that I get from SEO. So here you can see organic search, and you will be able to see my SEO traffic alone, which is also pretty decent. So 822, 781, 1014 visitors every day. And digital marketing is something that everybody has to learn, because everybody goes through the same evolution of being professional. And even if you are into data science, even if you are into design, whatever it is, you can build your personal brand, you can start blogging, you can start tracking the amount of visitors to your blog. So this is again my search console. You can see the amount of clicks that I'm getting every day to my blog, and all these concepts are covered in my digital marketing course and in my personal branding course. So anyway, this is the amount of traffic that I get to my blog. And let's go ahead and have a look at what is the amount of money that I am making with consulting. So let's go into instamojo.com and let's look at how much revenue I have made overall, and how much revenue I am making with consulting alone. So if you look at the InstaMojo dashboard, you will see that in the past 30 days, I have made 93 lakhs in revenue. And now I am selling a lot of, online courses. So online courses is where I am getting most of my revenue from. So this is basically a tried and tested system. So since I have established myself in the market as a digital marketing expert, now I am eligible to go ahead and start selling online courses, which I will get to in a moment. But first, let's look at consulting. So let's look at today's revenue, and let's look at 60 minutes one-on-one consultation with Deepak. So just today I have sold 4 consulting calls. So because today I sent an email campaign, and you can see that I have made 40,000 rupees in revenue just for today. And after consultation, it's mentorship. So I do online mentorship. I have a program called Digital Deepak Internship Program, from which I have made a lot of revenue. So that is live calls where I teach people directly, ask them to complete assignments, which is a high-end program. And then you can see that this is my agency, which is Pixel Track, and we have been running this agency for the past 3 years. And you can see these are the different clients that we have worked with. So we have done digital marketing services for Mercedes-Benz, Nikon, Your Story, HDFC Reality, Scriptbox, and we have done corporate trainings for these people as well, which is also like mentorship, which is like a group coaching, right? You can do it online or you can do it offline as well. So we have done offline. So now that I have created the agency, and then I started scaling my education. So all my courses is available at learn.digitaldeepak.com. And here you can see, if you go into my courses, then these are the courses I have subscribed for. Let's go and check all courses. So these are all the different courses I have launched. I have launched SEO course, Google Ads course, digital marketing basics course, Facebook ads course, email marketing, analytics, content marketing, Zapier, digital marketing agency, digital marketing tools. And the amount of revenue that I am making from the courses is significant. So if I go ahead and look at the 11 course bundle that I am selling, which is digital marketing mastery bundle. So today we have not made any sales, but if I look at this month, so this month I have made 12,63,000 just selling the digital marketing mastery bundle. And if you look at all time selling this course, so this is way more than what my clients pay me. My clients pay something like 3 lakhs a month, 5 lakhs a month for Pixel Track. But with my courses, I have made 12 lakhs in revenue just for this month, right? And all time, you can see that all time we are almost at 1 crore just for the digital marketing mastery bundle. But if you actually look at other courses, let's say 100-day blogging course. So this 100-day blogging course alone has made I think more than 75 lakhs. Let's see what is the exact amount. Which is almost the same as the digital marketing mastery bundle that I have sold. So let the page load. So we have made 77 lakhs just with the 100-day blogging course. So this is the eventual outcome of building an expertise in a particular subject, and for me it has taken almost 15 years to reach at this point. So if you are looking at this, and if you are looking at, hey, Deepak is lucky, Deepak is making a lot of money. No, I spent 15 years. I worked a lot. I moved different companies, and because I have gone through this evolution, like just working itself was 5 years. Come on, a lot of people think that they can start making money within 6 months, 1 year. I just worked at a company for 5 whole years, I went through office politics. I went through all that, things that you have to go in corporate. And then I started this agency, which was excruciating in itself. Going to meet clients not paying, clients suddenly saying no, hiring people, and then the projects not coming through, and then firing people. I went through all that, and I learned digital marketing the hard way. I learned it by doing. I learned it by doing digital marketing, core digital marketing, for almost 15 years, right? Since 2006, I have been trying to understand digital marketing. 2006 to 2012 was when I understood blogging, when I understood SEO, social media. Then I worked in corporates, then I started the agency, and now you can see that learn.digitaldeepak.com. I have 1 lakh 2,317 students who have enrolled at learn.digitaldeepak.com to understand and learn from all my courses. And I am able to achieve this. People like my courses because I know what the market wants. I know what's involved because I have done it. If you want to learn, let's say, artificial intelligence, would you learn artificial intelligence from a person who has done a course on artificial intelligence? No, you might as well do that course yourself, right? And this person should have worked as an artificial intelligence engineer. Then this person should have consulted people. This person should have a blog, so that there is some authority, and there is some trustability that okay, this person knows what he is talking about. And then that person should consult, mentor. That person should have a artificial intelligence company. So imagine that if you want to learn artificial intelligence, would you learn from someone who has learned and worked, or someone who has just learned, or someone who has learned, worked, and blogged, or someone who consults, someone who does mentoring, and someone who has an artificial intelligence startup? Learning artificial intelligence from a guy who has an artificial intelligence startup is something that you would prefer, right? You would want to learn digital marketing from me, from someone who has spent 15 years in digital marketing, not from some guy who has learned digital marketing from somewhere else. So right now I will not go into the mechanics of how the entire teaching system works. So this has lead generation, paid ads, integrated digital marketing, and so many concepts just within teaching. There are so many concepts to learn within starting up, so many concepts to learn within mentoring, consulting, blogging, getting your dream job, and also becoming like a good learner. So each and every topic of this, I can go and create a course in itself, right? I can create a course on how to get your dream digital marketing job, or for that matter, I can create a course on how to get a job, how to get your dream job. I can do a course on blogging, which I already have. I can do a course on consulting. I can do a course on mentoring. I can do a course on how do you start up, and how I can create a course on how you can sell online courses, because that is something I have done myself. So I recommend that if you want to grow as a professional, and if you want to create a strong personal brand, then you go through this. And eventually, when you go through this at your own pace without rushing through it, there will be a lot of rewards waiting for you eventually when you get to the teaching stage. If you directly jump to the teaching stage, you might spoil your brand, and it might not be the right thing to do, right? So that's about it for this particular video. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope this was an aha moment when it comes to learning about how a professional evolves. So this is my work, and it took me a long time to understand this. It took me a lot of thought, a lot of disturbing thought, turbulent thought, to kind of figure out, hey, why do people directly teach things where they learned from somewhere, and what is the ideal path that they have to go through. So if you liked this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you go ahead and leave your comments below this video, so that I would know whether you have understood these concepts or not. And go ahead and share this video, like this video, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, as all YouTubers would say. But again, I'm not in the business of creating entertainment YouTube videos or news YouTube videos. I am here to really teach you in-depth concepts. And once you have understood a concept like this, I'm pretty sure that it is going to change your life. And if I had a mentor 10 years back who told me, hey, this is how you have to go through it, then I will probably have achieved results in 5 years instead of 10 years. So that's about it. All the best, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.